Starting the week out, just looking at the economic calendar, it seems to be a pretty fair week. The only thing I'd say is CAD with the rate statement on Wednesday. Wednesday should be a pretty volatile day. Monday, Tuesday, not a lot going on. We may have slower days. And I'm only saying that because there's not much high impact news, but that's only in theory, right? Monday and Tuesday could very well be very volatile days, but there's no high impact news. So Thursday and Friday are pretty fair as well. So I think we got a pretty fair week as it relates to news. All right, shifting here to DXY. So same mindset as we had going into last week. Looking at our weekly chart, we're thinking open high, low close. All right, and that open high would mean we want to see price get inside of this weekly fair value gap. And it's actually nice that we created that fair value gap because it kind of gives us more framework to work with. So we want to see lower time frame price action get inside of here, traded above our weekly opening price. And this is where we have to look to see if there's any type of changes in institutional order flow, shifts in delivery, and then potentially we take a short to get price back to discounts. All right. So previous week's low is going to be the first target. That low comes in at 103,620. All right, and then we're still banking on this area here where I'm saying, hey, there's no sell side delivery in this portion of price. All right, so right here we open here, right? Price pushes up. There's really no sell side delivery. We can also mark out the actual fair value gap. Okay, so down in 103, 450 to 103, 400 is what I'll call that level is where I want to see DXY get. But we want to see open high, low close. All right, we want to see price traded to the weekly fair value gap. All right, moving above the opener price. So I believe this is all inducement for right now. All right, and 103,620 is previous week's low. Looking at the 10-year yield. All right, daily chart here, weekly chart. I don't think we've started moving just yet. Yeah, so we haven't, the actual candle hasn't created, but we should have a fair value gap. Yeah, this candle started Monday last week. We should have a fair value gap here, kind of mimicking what we see in DXY. Remember, we had the SMT where DXY actually took out this high from May 27th. So let's go and put it on the chart for any new viewers. All right, you guys can see here, right? DXY actually took out that high. Okay. Um, so I'm thinking open, high, low, close. Whereas I want to see price take out the previous week's high. All right, we take out previous week's high, and then that's what we're looking on our 1H and 4 hour and all that stuff to see if we actually get shifts in institutional order flow. 1 hour time frame now, right? This order flow is bullish. Okay, so if we divide our, split the screen in half, as of right now, institutional order flow is bullish, right? It's our job to see if institutional order flow actually shifts. If this shifts back bearish, that means that once we flow into Euro USD, Pound USD, all right, we should see those guys do just the opposite, right? So looking at Pound USD or I mean Euro USD, we had a pretty good week last week, but I want to say this one thing, right? Let's keep in mind, election year. I keep saying this, and I'm literally noticing this thing is squeezing tighter and tighter. All right, um, I don't want to draw this stuff on the chart, but I mean, at some point, right, we will have a breakout of this. All right, so it's almost this consolidation before the election, which is the high impact news release in November. But as of right now, right, we're on the buy side of a curve. Okay, the only reason I bring that point up about what we're seeing is because we've saw for the past year and a half, these moves look promising. It seems as though price is going to continue and expand out of this range. But we're in a consolidated market. At any rate, at any point, this order flow could fail and then send us back down to the opposite side of the range. But for right now, this is all we have. Okay, so weekly fair value gap is resting here at 0.8700. Okay, so I really want to see price trade into 0.8700. Strong rejection last week, but trading into 0.8700 is where we'd want to get engaged for long opportunities. So here, daily fair value gap actually comes in at 0.8620. So anything down inside of here is pretty decent. and we're going to utilize this daily down close candle as, you know, uh, our point of reference in regards to our parent order flow. Okay, we had somebody asking a question about that this week, and that's just us seeing, hey, daily down close candles for right now. These guys are support price. Okay, so at this point, this is where I'm taking this range because this is that point of parent order flow, and because I'm taking that range, this is what's going to be kind of the determining factor. All right, but this blue shaded area is our weekly volume imbalance. So this could also act as support. Okay. But open, low, high close for Euro USD this week want to attack previous week's high at 09480 and then potentially 09650 is what I'm going to call that next level. And then I believe that this 1100 level, which is equal highs on the daily, right? I believe this level could be attacked also. Okay. But if this fails, just keep in mind it's because we're in a ranging market. Okay. Um, Pound USD is going to host the same, pretty much the same outlook. Okay, looking at a weekly chart, this is our current dealing range here, right? Down closed candles are supporting price. Buy side imbalances are supporting price, all right? Which means that inside of this area, we have to anticipate that we'll see a change in this institutional order flow to send us back to the buy side of the curve, right? From this point here to here, 1 hour or any lower time frame, we'll probably see up close candle supporting price, all right? So we want to see price get under this weekly open, maybe get a little closer to discounts, and then we'll get, we'll get more prepared for buying opportunities. Okay. And there may be an intraday short opportunity here to trade into this fair value gap if we happen to go in London and price is resting here, or maybe this pushes up and trades into this area. But either way, the best opportunity is going to be at discounts, looking for buying opportunities. All right, let's go to Aussie dollar. Okay, so Aussie dollar is a pair that I've been on heavily for the past 2 weeks, because I really believe we'll get to this 6,900 level, these equal highs. But first, this would be on the menu. Obviously, 6,870. Previous or intra-month high comes in at 6,700. Actually, 6,800. Big figure is what we'll call it. So taking this range into consideration, right? Down closed candles on the daily are support price. Here's our current dealing range. All right. And once we go through our PD array matrix, okay, we look at this range and we say, hey, where are my PD arrays? Well, right here we trade it down into daily fair value gap. Right. So daily fair value gap, weekly volume imbalance. Okay, this I really like the condition that we have for AUD USD this week. I would like to see us potentially take out the previous week's low and trade and use this weekly volume balance as a support level, and then also we have this weekly order block. All right, so we're already inside of the range, or at least the wick of this weekly OB. Okay, wanting to attack 6,800 to potentially 6,87 and 6,900 as our ultimate draw. Just taking a look at a weekly chart, I'm going to go to AUD CAD right after this because they kind of have the same market condition, but original consolidation here, right? This here would be, you can call it low risk buy, next phase redistribution. It doesn't matter what we call it. Uh, biggest point is that we're on the sell side of the curve. Okay, 4-hour chart, we'll see it more clearly. Up close candle support and price. Sell side imbalances are support and price. All right, so at this point, there is nothing that would make us have a I wouldn't say have a bullish outlook, but there's nothing that would make us actually take longs at this particular point in time. All right, I'd want to see some type of last phase redistribution cleared, and then we'll be able to work from there once we can say we're on the buy side of the curve. All right, so just understand price isn't going to make one linear move to targets. There's going to be multiple chances for um, price trading inside of the range and then us attacking the next external range liquidity. Okay. Now let's go to AUD CAD. Actually, we didn't start with AUD CAD. All right, so AUD CAD has pretty much the same outlook as AUD USD, whereas we have this BPR here. So this is that consolidation, right? Expansion. We're seeing this as retracement to potential reversal, okay, or continuation. So this is internal range move. We're wanting to attack this next external range liquidity run, which would take us up to 92600, all right, or 92650. All right, so 92650 is what I want to see. But first, we have to allow ourselves to shift back to the buy side of the curve. As of right now, we're on the sell side of the curve on the lower time frame. We scale to our higher time frame. We're on the buy side of the curve. So going back to that idea of parent order flow, right? Parent order flow would be these weekly down close candles support price. So even though I'm seeing a shift on a lower time frame within these areas, parent order flow, right? This is my point. This is that point of parent order flow. Okay, so and then this is also a point of parent order flow, right? Buy side imbalances are supporting price on the weekly chart. Here we go here, right? We'd expect the same thing. So I'm expecting a lower time frame as it trades into parent order flow. I'm looking for shifts. All right, I'm not going to continue to take the lower time frame delivery for face value because it's being met with a much higher, stronger force. Okay, uh, that's AUD CAD, GCAD. We did that. Let's look at the yen. So obviously, we know economically, the yen is not that strong, at least compared to its counterparts. So pound JPY, all right, is one that I like simply because we have this weekly OB, right? Clearing out stops, rebalancing the fair value gaps, strong expansion. So I'm seeing this as that internal before the next external run. So this is stops, inefficiency back to stops. Lower time frame market maker buy program is how we should see this, how we should think about this. All right. Um, I think they'll come back and make up for this move. As of right now, we don't have a lot, but what I want to see in this area, right, amongst pound USD, EJ, or AJ, doesn't matter, but I want to see some type of SMT, all right, some type of SMT in this weekly fair value gap with a clearing of a last phase redistribution. And then, I'd say, hey, 20800 is the first target, and there's a great potential that we run into this area here. All right. Keep this in mind as well. Brent oil is another asset that I like. So I don't like the fact that we're literally just bouncing back and forth. But it does become a little clear as we move to lower time frames. So right here, equal lows on the monthly chart at 76.66 level. Looking at our weekly chart, after taking out these equal highs on the monthly, right, we see the creation of a weekly OB. We trade through this inefficiency here. All right, we clear out that inefficiency. Now we do have this inefficiency down below that we could react from, but I think after clearing out a monthly high, having equal lows, right, really just 3 equal lows down here, and then looking at this from a market maker standpoint, I think up close candles are now supporting price. It seems to me we're on the sell side of a curve. I'd imagine that this daily up close candle would hold as a level of resistance. So I'm short on this until we trade and close back above 8580. All right, 8580 at that point. If we trade and close above that level, then that idea at that point, we're just completely wrong. So what I want to see, since I'm bearish, is open high, low, close, meaning weekly candle. I want us to trade above the weekly opening price like we are now. Maybe we use the inversion fair value gap as a level of resistance. And then I want us to run down into this area. But keeping in mind, we do have the fair value gap right here. All right. CAD CHF. So Swiss is, I don't want to say it's tricky across the board. It's just I'm seeing different things once we take a look at CAD Swiss, USD Swiss, and compare it to Euro Swiss. It is slightly different. All right. So daily chart here, going to show you guys this markup. So at one point, right, I was seeing this, I was kind of seeing it like this. All right. So I was seeing that, hey, maybe this is market maker buy program. Okay. But I was keeping in mind that I was also seeing this here. Okay. So we trade up and then we traded down. We cleared out the last phase. Actually, this here would actually be last phase reaccumulation. So when I saw that now and we closed through that area, I'm like, all right, this might actually be a redistribution phase, and it's kind of what it has turned out to be. Okay, so we started delivering lower. So I'm going to keep these equal lows in mind, even if this is not a full, um, even if this is not a market maker sale program that will complete all the way, right? If we happen to trade up inside of this range, extend this BPR across price, I think we'll find resistance around this level right here, right? This would be, if I'm grading this whole thing, this would be our 50, I want to say 25% grading. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I have it on the chart right. Nah. All right. But anyways, this area, this sell side imbalance, I think we will be able to find shorting opportunities from here. Let's price this blast through this area. But for right now, I'm seeing equal lows, and we'll call these equal lows at 6.4. All right, 6.4350 is what I'll call the equal lows. All right, so open, high, low, close. We certainly want to see price get above the weekly open, right? Inside of this range somewhere, I think we find resistance from right inside here if we trade up, deep enough inside of this range. All right, so here's Euro CHF. Now, Euro CHF, the reason I say slightly tricky is because we have this huge volume imbalance on the weekly, right? There's no delivery. So we trade here, we close here, and then we open here, all right? So there's no delivery up to this wick, all right? So right at this wick is where price closes. I'd imagine we find support from here. So I kind of want to see Euro CHF trade lower, taking out this previous week's low. Yeah, taking out this previous week's low, and then we'll see what we get from there. All right. But the reason I have this on the key movers for this week is because I believe this volume balance will act as support. However, if I scroll out to a 6-month chart, 3-month. All right, if I scroll to a 3-month chart, now you can kind of see, hey, up close candles are supporting price. And technically, we have not traded through an up close candle just yet. So what I also watch for is maybe I won't engage with this asset this week. What I do see is we've cleared out this last phase reaccumulation, actually the lowest here. Okay, so this could prove that we're on the sell side of the curve. At this point, we can't really say that, right? If the weekly candle goes and closes here, right? Now down close candles are supporting price. At this particular point in time, we can't say that down close candles are supporting price. We can only see this as a sell stop liquidity run. Okay. But what I want to see is either here, right? Or we close through the volume imbalance, and now we know that area is going to be used as resistance. And at that point, we detect these lows. Okay. But as of right now, I'm going to remain neutral, and I want to see what this week does. USD CHF. All right, we called this perfectly last week. We saw the expansion down, taking these lows out. If I look at it daily, I have equal lows right here with this daily fair value gap. So I believe this is a great target as we go into this week. That level comes in at 88200. All right, so in the weekly, I want to see open, high, low, close. I'm showing you guys here that up close candles are supporting price. This is a perfect market maker sell program. We call it shorts from up here last week. And I believe this move here is just price going stops, inefficiency potentially for the next external run. So we should be looking on a lower time frame for a market maker sell program. All right. We can view this as original consolidation. All right. Let's actually use our 4-hour. Okay. So right now, in the 4-hour chart, down close candles are supporting price. We just traded into this inefficiency. We could trade up to fair valuation at 89150. All right. So fair valuation at 89150. I would like to see us get above the weekly open. That would bring us to just above equilibrium of this range. All right, so right around this area is where we want to see price. So that's Swiss. We did all these guys. All right, so NASDAQ will be the last one. We saw the SMT here last week with S&P 500, so it's kind of a telltale sign that we were going to drop off. And then obviously Trump makes his statements about the chip companies and then also Taiwan, and then the price just plummets. So the important part about this, going back to that idea of pairing order flow, right? just understand that if even if on the lower time frames, daily, weekly, 4 hour, 1 hour, right, we're clearing structure, we're having uh, lower time frame structural shifts, right? Monthly down close candles and monthly buy side imbalances are supported price. Okay, so this candle closes in 9 days, but this is our current daily range. Okay, so I'm bullish until we clear this range. And even if we clear that range, I'm going to my quarterly chart, right? So even if we clear this range, guess what? This is my next point of parent order flow. Okay, so weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, we'll probably clear out this weekly down close candle. On the daily, that's going to be a structural shift. Okay, but keep in mind the monthly candle is right here. So we've cleared out daily, we've cleared out monthly, weekly. So there's a potential, certainly I would say we're going to go to 19,480, all right, and then trade lower into this range, and then we'll see what we get from there. All right, so maybe we trade down into equilibrium of this range. So I'll call it 19,000 as a potential area that will trade to, but we don't know yet. So, as of right now, we're bearish on this asset from an intraday standpoint. Okay, until we can shift over. All right, once we shift back to bullish, 2,800 is the next target. All right, and that's all we have for a weekly outlook, guys. I think the top of the list this week, I'd say Euro USD and AUD CAD and AUD USD. Right, those are the ones that I really like, and also USD CHF.